Yeah, I'm on winter break till the 23rd of January, so I have
Nice.
no idea what I'm doing with my time.
I think that's a good issue to have.
I mean, it's not a bad problem. But it's also really easy to forget that, time is a thing and you just waste it all away and you're like, what did I do? So I'll probably come up with a couple of projects that I need to do.
I hate how every fucking magic item requires attunement.
Get the feat that allows you to attune to double the magic items. So you can attune to, what, 10?
I will. Probably next level.
Well, double would be 8.
It would be 8 for me. It's not on my character sheet because I'm lazy, but I do have a ring of attunement.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, don't do that now.
But I say, isn't the Ring of Attunement a joke item? Well, you attune to the ring, right?
Who
And it
says
allows
you
you to
attune to
attune
the
to
ring?
additional item. So you're spending an attunement for an attunement.
Who says you attune to the ring?
The Ring of Attunement? Oh. Oh, okay, that's cool.
What book is Ring of Attunement from? Okay. Okay, cool.
Oh. I want a Ring of Attunement now. Right.
We'll make it there it is, created items. Here we are. Okay, I have one now. Yeah, I got that all the way back when I got the Ring of Winter.
Oh.
Cool. Yeah, but we got the rare vouchers, and I'm looking through the rare magic items, and I'm like, all of these require like vicious weapons don't. But other than that, it is sparse.
There's a lot of, lower rarity items like common items and uncommon items that one of my players has been hoarding because she's playing a dragon and she can use magic items that are in her treasure hoard. And she keeps pulling out just these random items. Like last session we had to deal with extreme cold and she's like, I have this cube that makes it warm in an area. Like, well, that defeats this mechanic. And it was a
That's a
non.
beautiful, common item.
Yeah, right. Didn't weren't you using that in this game, Jet? Oh, Oh, definitely.
Why? You're like, okay, we need to go this system. Okay, so who am I missing?
Elven chain is nice, but like it wouldn't stack with my robes. It's a top tier item for a mage.
Care of. Riven is not going to be here today because his girlfriend's parents are in town. So.
Cardboard cutout Riven.
And a
Well, at least
pool
he's
of
not
dice
gonna
I
burn
forced him to
anyone.
roll.
What?
Oh, I told him I'm not rolling anything for him, so I had him roll the d20s. And there were some ones in there.
Womp womp.
So, last we left off, we had finished off our quests, made it back to the Black City, and then started doing our downtime to level up. During that downtime, lots of stuff happened between every player. And Simar got himself a new quest.
Yeah, we ended the session with Shion / Vesteel coming forward with some of her secrety. I'm not a person. I'm not really a soul. I'm just kind of an entity sort of situation.
A doll, pretty much a possessed doll. But anyway, yeah. And then I touched on some things with touched up on getting in touch with my family and hearing about some shenanigans that were afoot that are now getting resolved. Unfortunately, in weird ways, and yeah, I think the majority of it was like downtime and stuff. What was the quest that we got though?
So we need to take a cube that I got from Storm Dragon Ryu to the swamp in the east, and we need to drop the cube into the black pit, and it should remake or create a new Heart of the East.
Right.
So
And
it is
there was
a
something
very
about
important quest.
building an entire airship or riding a fortress dragon to accomplish that task.
Yeah, because there's unknown forces that definitely probably don't want something like this to occur, and we're being very paranoid because we are still this despite the amount of power we can unleash, we're still small beans in the world.
Yeah.
That is fair. Well, if you need me, I've got some stuff to do.
I think we need
I'm gonna leave you with my twin. As this time, he decides to do something different. He grabs his head like this and snaps his neck like he's about, and as he falls to the ground, the body morphs into Czar.
So Czar at 1 hit point?
Son of a bitch, right in the pile!
So can Can Zar turn into a fortress dragon?
Why?
Do we need to explain the situation to you, Zar, or did you hear what we were talking about?
I mean, 50-50. It's kind of like I wasn't here when you were talking about it, and then I had to listen to a recording.
Uh, okay.
So, like, you just need any fortress dragon?
I mean, preferably one under our control, or any kind of flying entity that can swiftly and safely carry us to our destination. But we might also be better off also teleporting closer before implementing said entity.
Right.
Can this... Wait. Do we
We
have to
need-
put this seed on Mount Celestia too, like Rivens?
No. The instructions were just to chuck it into the center of the crater.
Can it teleport?
No. I mean, it. We should be able to teleport with
Can,
it,
can
but
it
it can't
can it
teleport on
plane
its
shift?
own.
Can it?
I didn't ask that question.
Yeah.
Let me pray
Is it
real quick.
fragile?
No, I
Do we
don't
have to
think
hold
it's
it this side up?
I mean, let Hondar look at it. I mean, I'm sure if anybody could tell if something is fragile just by looking and feeling it, probably him.
Are we
I
back
trust Vondar.
in the Black City, or are we still in Field Knot's house?
I believe you are back in the Black City.
All right. Well, this is definitely not the place to do this.
Sure.
You see the shadows just starting to stitch up my wounds.
Did that hurt?
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, it's probably payback because, like, I pun through him and it killed us. So, I mean, he owed me.
You two have
I owed him.
a active relationship, I'll call it.
Do we want to go to there's a village nearby the crater, right?
I mean, Bondar, can you look at this thing to see if it can handle like being teleported?
Is it out?
No. I ain't taking it out in the Black City. We need to go back to some place out of sight.
Well,
What happens if like every time we like go through a portal, it like pieces of it break off?
Well,
I feel
And it
like
only has
that
like
would-
2 times it can go through a portal.
well, so far it hasn't done anything.
How do you know?
remotely-
Did you take it out?
I wouldn't take it out, but
I'm not taking it out.
I would assert that
That's what
if
she
it
said.
was unable to be teleported, that the person who put Simimar up to this quest would have revealed that.
But what if that was part of the task?
Well, then the heart is broken and we don't have to worry about it.
Do we want to go to the elemental plane of air to discuss this?
That'd be definitely better.
Yeah, I'll take us to the forge.
What does Vondar's forge in the elemental plane of air look like? Because we've gone there and we've discussed it plenty of times, but I don't think I've ever heard what exactly it is.
I think it's a pretty bare bones forge. There's no house attached to it or anything.
I'm imagining that it's like just a tiny island with all of the essentials and like 4 doors and a roof.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. And there's the giant adamantite golem sitting on the side.
Yeah, I gotta start breaking that down.
We could just
if you ever don't want to
bring
deal
it
with
back
it,
alive.
you could always just put it up on the auction house, but that's yours. But anyway, so yeah, now that we're in the elemental plane of air, I guess, do you want to take it out, see what we're working with? Someone.
I will pull the cube out.
I will attempt to identify it.
For lack of better description, it is called Material Pillar Starter Pack.
Material Pillar Starter Pack.
Mm-hmm.
Rarity would be unknown to you because this doesn't really have one. And as far as its description, basically, if it is taken to a place of ample aberrant magic, it will grow and expand until it creates a creature equivalent to the amount of energy it consumes.
You said aberrant magic,
Mm-hmm.
not ambient.
Nope, aberrant.
Thunder, that face you just gave us doesn't look good.
It's apparently powered by aberrant magic, and uses that to create an equivalent creature.
I mean, aren't all of the hearts some kind of creature? And wasn't the swamp place before kind of an aberrant swamp?
I'm not really
Never been.
familiar with it, but
Yeah.
Anyone who would like to, you could make a nature or history check to see what you actually know about the hearts.
I'll make a history.
They did exist during your time, so more so you would probably have at least some knowledge of them.
Okay, history. At normal. There we go.
Vondar, you know they're basically... yeah, I'm going to take this in order. So Vondar with lowest, basically you know there's some sort of mythical being. It's not that they don't exist, it's just for your people, they don't have any direct correlation with one. The only one you have any general knowledge of is the Heart of the North Yuki, and that's because she is literally famous for being, number one, part of the Last Wall, and number two, she's a ruler of an entire independent nation, which consists of one city. But it's still an independent nation.
It is very adamant on that fact.
Yes, she is. You'd have a little bit more information. You know that they aren't just mythical beings by, it's not just because they're in storybook fairy tales and legends. You know they're called mythical beings because they are actually mythic level creatures. So they're not just legendary, they're the next step up. Each one kinda, from what you understand in your noble background and kind of the lessons you would have learned, they support some sort of ecological function that helps the material plane stay stable. There's something strange about this particular material plane that makes it hard for it to stay solid. So you need each heart in place in order to keep their, number one, their ecosphere alive, but number two, to also keep the magics of the plane kind of at an equilibrium.
Everything in
Hypothetically,
balance.
I didn't roll high enough for this. Fair enough. But hypothetically, if all of the hearts were to vanish, would that be like chaos, mass extinction level event, or would it be the end of the world?
I would say that would be a separate Arcana check.
I
don't
feel
know.
like the world would just spaghetti and unravel.
And as you go down that thought process, Simar, at the 27, you'd actually know specifically what the hearts were. So you know the Heart of the North has always been a dragon. Not necessarily Yuki has not always been the Heart of the North. There was a white dragon before her. But dragon for a dragon, it made sense to replace. The Heart of the West, you have had very little interaction with, but due to your time in the military, you are aware that it is a giant spider dragon. And that is how it was described to you, a giant spider dragon. And that its ecosystem is guarded by these arachne-like creatures, one of which is known as the bow hero. And you know, basically from what the army told you, stay the fuck away from him. Or her. They're not entirely sure what it is in terms of gender, but they know that it is destructive to the point where it took down level 60 epic adventurers without breaking a sweat.
Oh, okay.
You know, the Heart of the South is known as the Ashen Wolf, and it basically feeds upon basically all the problems in the world that has to do with deserts originate from this creature. When the desert burns you and you can't regain your health, when you lose magic to the northwest desert, and etc., all of that feeds back to that creature and makes it stronger. So hypothetically, without classes being considered, it is the strongest of the hearts. Now, if you're taking classes and divinity into it, obviously the Heart of the North is the strongest. But as a raw creature, it is the strongest because it constantly grows from all of the hardships it creates with the deserts. And then the Heart of the East used to be, I mean, you guys kind of got a little bit of a hint when I talked about a alternative Zaratan. The Heart of the East was a giant earthen turtle.
Oh.
One of which should have been nigh on impossible to hurt because, based on all accounts in history, every time some group went up against that thing, they could not hurt it. Which implies it has not just immunities, but also, if you somehow get past those immunities, it has damage threshold.
Right.
So, with all of that, there seem to be a few stories, and I'm discussing this out loud. There seem to be a few stories of people going up against these hearts. Like, there were quests to protect and destroy the Heart of the North. There were apparently 60 level epic ranked adventurers that went after the Heart of the West. And the Heart of the East was destroyed. Are people just not wanting this because why are these hearts? Why are people
Because
going after these hearts?
so people don't like them because, like, with the heart or with the desert creature, there's a lot of inconveniences with its existence, but its existence is still necessary for balance.
I think we're pulling on some rather obscure information. Not everyone knows.
Oh, do you
what
want
these
some
things
obscure?
Also, Simar, while he's asking his question, make an insight check because there's something that I said out loud that would have triggered something in Simar's memories.
Inciting.
We'll pee real quick while you guys discuss.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like it's grasping at straws, Vondar, because if in order to maintain the balance, like the theory of yin yang, you have to have light and dark. When it comes to magic or just kind of existence itself, we need to have a little bit of everything, because otherwise then we have more of one thing, and that one thing begins to become everything and throws everything out of whack, or reality falls apart.
It's funny because, like, you're absolutely right, Simamar, with the Heart of the South, which you apparently haven't heard any stories of people going after that one, but you're absolutely right that its existence is inconvenient. The Heart of the West is a massive dragon who probably their existence is also inconvenient, and the Heart of the North is a political entity which makes her also inconvenient in other ways.
Right.
Oh, I think they're all very inconvenient.
But they are also extremely necessary, which is why we're going to go replace the Heart of the East.
I don't know. The North could do without being so cold.
Well,
Right,
I
but
don't.
so let's do a thought exercise. What happens if there is no heart of the North anymore?
People can go up there and not freeze.
I don't
Okay.
think that's it.
Well,
Well,
that would be true, but then we would have nothing cooling the world, so then everything would get super hot, like the plane
Yeah.
of fire.
So therefore, the people in the desert could move to the north and they'd be cool.
they
Right,
wouldn't
but
be
we're
cold
we're
enough.
talking about like probably half of the world, if not more, becoming uninhabitable because of excessive heat.
I mean, isn't the north and the desert already uninhabitable?
Well,
Uh,
the north is inhabitable. We found people up there.
Yeah, but everyone had to like be like cold and immunities and resistances
So
and
you
this
want
and
to
that.
upend the basis of the world because it's a little too chilly up there.
I base that you can't call some place inhabitable if you need magical shit in order to survive.
Fair enough, but move where if you don't like the cold, move where it's not cold. You don't
Yeah,
like the
but the
desert.
problem is if you get dropped in the north and you don't have that, you can't move because you die.
How
Therefore,
about we
that
move
is not inhabitable.
to the north?
As further addition, Simar, while you're discussing this, you recall to your memory that Thea is an ancient hero. So
right.
that should
And
tell
I know
you
you
why it's your
mentioned the
way.
bow hero, which we've had some issues with heroes and waves in the past, which
Mm-hmm.
actually begs the question, why aren't the waves occurring if the bow hero is the one in existence?
Yep.
Anyway,
Waves come, waves.
do we want me to open a gate to the village in the south or the village in the east near where we're going?
Bondar, can that thing survive?
I mean, it survived the trip here.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's the same spell.
I don't know if it's got like plane shift counters. It's got like we're all countered out.
Oh, and that plane shift counter is 2.
Yeah, I'm going to insight our
I don't know.
dear friend Czar, because I feel as if this is something that Czar does not want to
All right.
have happened. Oh, Czar's being Czar.
Czar's being Czar.
So am I gonna be like dragon now or dragon later?
Dragon later. All right,
Roger.
I'm gonna. Can we go to the map with all the cities on it?
Alarak.
I would like to go a mile north of this little hamlet. I assume it's a hamlet.
It could be a warren. Lizard people live there, presumably.
Well, it is directly south of our destination and very close, as close as I want to try to teleport to the rift. Because if I don't think it's going to work to
But you're not teleporting.
gate directly into the rift or into the hole.
Okay, hold on. Here's a question.
I'm ready.
Here's a question. If we can just teleport or plane shift to this hamlet, why don't we just teleport to the center of the pit and fly?
Because you're not listening to Sean Zestiel.
I can try to do that if you want me to, but
You didn't want to. You said that was the safest you wanted to get to it.
We
right?
can try. If you want me to try, I will try. I was just thinking if there are entities that are not wanting this to happen, they might somehow interject with that spell. They might interject the spell anyway.
No, I think that is a valid reason to do it further away.
Yeah, hence the fortress dragon that I was projecting would take us from the site that I gate us to into the hole.
Do we have any non-detection scrolls?
I have the spell.
Are you able to cast that on all of us?
Sure. Actually, it might be self. Let me just make sure that it's not. Well, I don't have it prepared. That is the problem. I can only cast 2 spells I don't have prepared per day, and I need one of them for gate.
So what we can do, because I wasn't given a time limit, is we can wait, or I don't mind waiting here or waiting at Czar's place, for you to be able to do that. Because
Sure.
just in case there's people trying to do scrying magic, look around. It's better to be overly safe than just go in and get smacked, which actually, speaking of,
Zar stops casting Scry.
I'll dig into my pocket and say, the world may lie to me, but through the lens I shall see truth, and I will activate True Sight and perceive for any scrying majoohickeys. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for, but now I'm being paranoid.
I'll cast detect magic.
Wait a second. If you don't know what a scrying majugadigity looks like, how are you gonna know? Oh wait, hey Vondar, how many times can you cast Scry?
I think once.
You wanna scry on Simamar, see if he can see what the scrying thing looks like, so that he can know what to look for.
Where is my? Here it is. I don't have enough charges coming. Oh no, this would have recharged. Hold on. I'd be at full charge. I could, but it would mean I won't be able to use this item anymore.
Oh wait, let me see if I can do it then. Or Vestil, Shion Steel. Can you cast Scry on Simamar so he knows what we're looking for?
I don't have scry.
You can cast
Scry is
Scryzar.
in
Fuck if I know. Field, can we cast Scry? I wasn't casting anything when I said I stopped casting Scry, just so you know.
Yeah, Scry is a fifth level thing, and I can cast 4th level or 9th level, no in between.
Oh,
And
Joe's lying to us now.
I mean, I guess I could get my parents to buy scrolls of scrying or not scrying, non-detection from the Mages Guild since we're still banned.
Oh, I take 2 steps to the left. And I'm gonna look for a shooting star that I can wish on to cast Scry.
Okay, I can also do that. I'm not
Yeah.
though.
Shion, you feel a very weird sensation as you feel like someone is looking through your eyes. Zar, you see through Shion's eyes.
Oh crap! Is that what I look like?
Is this a divination effect? Because I cannot be targeted with divination.
No, it
All
is
right,
a
then I'm
actual
gonna crash
divinity
you
effect.
off as my follower.
I'm just gonna make sure that the cube is put away now.
Okay. Yeah, we can. I'm gonna ritually cast detect magic if we're just gonna wait here until tomorrow.
With True
I don't know if that's
Sight active, you do see a whole bunch of people staring at you that weren't staring at you, Simar.
Vondar, do you know that you have a lot of people here that weren't already? Apparently, they weren't looking at me, and now they are.
Do I also have 15 feet of true sight? Do I see these people?
You see some of them, but I think his goes out a little bit farther. So when you get to the edge of yours, you see them looking normal as if they aren't. They're just going about their day. But the ones that are within your true sight range, yes, you see like the person's body is pointed one direction, but it's almost like a spiritual copy of them is actually staring at you.
This is disturbing.
And since you have true sight, you would see similar effect happening to Shion right now.
Have these guys always been here?
No, it wasn't until it wasn't until you started talking about the seed openly in this plane that it's like a weird amount of traffic just showed up for no reason. And yes, I know you're in the plane of air right now.
This is not safe. All right. Well, if we're gonna do what we're gonna do, we need to do it now.
Okay. Sure. I will cascade. Attempt to cascade.
Remind me what the target is again?
A mile north of West Shroud.
Okay, roll a d100.
This is gate 86.
It's not because you're casting gate. Or rather, it's not only because you're casting gate. With an 86. You guys find yourself, well, you don't find yourself because you don't have to go through the gate until you actually choose to step through. But on the other side of your magical portal, you see a space that looks like what you'd expect a swamp to look like.
I'll see if we're good.
Not
I'm
really
gonna
a swamp, it's a marsh, I should say.
go through, see if we're in the right spot.
Some more.
Zar, are we resistant or immune to poison conditions?
Yeah.
Then nothing happens to you. It just smells really, really bad.
Yeah, I have a good thumbs up. We're good.
Look, with my true sight eyes, do I see anything out of the ordinary? Like any illusions?
Not over there.
All right.
But actually, no. Never mind. That wouldn't happen. Never mind. Continue.
Okay. I have poison resistance, so I will enter into the swamp.
You're good. You only need resistance in order to resist the effects here. It just
Do
smells
the
really
invisible
bad.
people follow him?
No, but as you step into the space, Simar, it's like someone introduced. Like you're okay. Let me. This might be a little old school for some people. It's like you're a TV and someone brought a very high-powered antenna near you, so your vision starts to like snow over.
Oh.
I will proceed, and I do not have resistance to poison.
As soon as you step out, make a con save.
Is this a magical effect?
No, environmental.
This is nature.
I'm also stepping out.
You're both good. It's not really a high DC. So
I thought you were
get-
resistant, Vandar.
I'm not actually a dwarf. I'm custom lineage.
Son of a bitch!
As you step out, it just smells really bad, and for a second you kind of feel your stomach churn as if you're gonna be sick. But I mean, you're both seasoned at this point to a decent degree as adventurers, so you're able to just shrug off the effects like it's nothing. Vondar, you have the same problem though, since you do have true sight as well.
Yeah, my eyes aren't working as well as I would like.
Does the gate go away?
Thank you for asking about that. As the last person steps through the gate, you see your magic, Shion, start to, like, the portal itself starts to break. You see cracks start to form.
I'll drop concentration.
And as you do that, the portal doesn't go away. Make an Arcana check.
Yeah. 31.
This is more about perception than actual knowledge. Though you would have a decent amount of knowledge about this as well. Your spell has been hijacked.
I'm going to cast a spell magic on it.
Your spell is instantly countered.
I will whip out a scroll, a counterspell.
Your scroll is not used and does not activate.
Oh.
Hey, Vandar.
As you watch the portal start to break, it looks like it starts to almost look like shards of glass as it falls into the ground. And as the glass penetrates the top layer of the mud, it starts to sink and the mud starts changing colors as if it's absorbing the magic from the spell.
I say we start running.
Okay. Remind me, does
I punch my
counterspell-
chest. I keel over. I start flopping.
There!
Do counterspelled spells still cost spell points?
No.
Remind me. Okay.
You hear my bones start cracking.
I'll pick Zara up. Zara, turn into a dragon! Save yourself!
You can't pick me up. I weigh too much.
I have 29 strength.
As you go, I'm too big. I am way too much. As I start growing in your hands.
Ugh!
Ah! And I grow to gargantuan size, and apparently
Right.
I'm a fortress dragon.
Oh. Okay. You.
Get on there.
Ugh.
On the Hydra's back.
Get on the Hydra's back.
Thank you for getting that reference.
Oh yeah, you didn't have to be so dramatic. I was actually worried for a moment.
This shit hurts!
All right, let's go. Jump on his back. Woo!
You ever had all your bones break at once? I know it happened twice to me today.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if I forgot about that experience.
Yeah, it's not a good experience to. I mean, not a bad experience to forget. Hey, Field, when we use this thing, like, do they have some place to ride, or are they just fucking up there?
Well, if you're using a fortress dragon, you are literally an entire city.
Oh,
This is much bigger than I thought.
Yeah, you're the equivalent size of the Cloud City, essentially.
holy fuck!
With like buildings?
Yes,
And
they're
people?
abandoned, but yes, no, they're just he's like a deserted city that you're standing on right now.
Oh my god, it's like that one Aladdin movie with the the turtle and the city on it.
Yep.
Good call. Next time I'm gonna have water flush off of me.
He has swamp water, swamp, a little bit. Whoosh.
Marsh water.
All
Well,
right.
this was a solution.
Well, so much for not standing out. Okay. I'm going
What did you think a
to.
fortress dragon would look like?
A fortress, not a city.
All right. As much as I am loving this, we need to start skedaddling. So excuse me as I pick up Vondar and Shion, and I will jump up to 90 feet to get into our new fortress city dragon.
If he's the size of a city and we were a mile north of West Shroud, did he bump into West Shroud when he grew?
Yep.
I would
Womp
like to
womp.
picture like I have. I'm like straddling it. My bat lays.
God.
All right, everybody on? Well, the ones that I want on. As soon as the ones I want on are on, I take a couple steps away from the city and then.
It doesn't take you long to get there. At
Like,
this,
there's a
at this,
non-zero chance the city is flattened.
at this size, we have a 360-foot movement speed.
All right. Zar, I'm gonna make my way to your head. As soon as I figure out how to navigate your city.
Which way is the head?
I'm presuming the direction that the wind is coming from.
Good. Yeah, probably. Let's go that way.
Oh, tell me the wind's going in every direction.
No, today the wind is a a westerly wind.
There would be wind also from his movements, so
Yes. So yes, it's you can defer based on your survival skills. That it is quote unquote that direction.
So, what is this city, Czar, that is on your back? Is it like something that's kind of like pristine and new, like maybe like Gothic architecture? Or is it like ruins of like an ancient time forgotten by the modern people?
A ruin, ancient and forgotten by modern technology. There's symbols of dragons everywhere. There's emerald insignias everywhere. And dragon rider symbols. Several different ones.
If Riven wasn't a cardboard cutout, I'm sure he would be loving this right now.
As you turn around, Riven's not there.
We're working it out.
Casualties of war. Continuing on.
Can I check Riven's location on the guild card?
It is currently listed as MIA.
He's alive.
He's alive.
Just be KIA if he wasn't. He's probably on another plane.
Can you be MIA KII, or does MIA cover KIA?
There is some overlap, but I am willing to bet 100 iridium that right now he's probably in the Honor Isles, getting slapped upside down by some high-ranking dragon rider. Anyway, to the hole.
It'll take you a couple hours to get there.
I'm gonna take a short rest and arcane recovery.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend my time examining the sword. Serial?
Yep.
I'm going to use up the rest of my uses of the Gem of Seeing just to maintain true sight and keep an eye out. So I will have 3 hours in total of true sight.
One moment. I am just checking something.
Actually, I'll do 2 charges. I'll save the last for when we actually get at the hole.
All right, so we got true sides, someone taking a short rest for some arcane recovery, and you and Vondar is observing Sariel. Obviously, the former Goblin Dragon, now Fortress Dragon, is flying. Riven is who knows where. Okay, so we got about 14 hours of travel. Let's see if you have anything that. Actually, I'm gonna say you have 14 hours that goes by. That's a thought I just had. 12 hours of travel. That means you'd have an excess of 2 hours. So you'd make a full day's travel of 12 hours with no issue. Would you guys want to push the last 2 hours, or do you want to keep going, or do you want to stop?
Let's push the last 2 hours.
So it'd be give me a Constitution save if we exert
Yes.
ourselves, or is it just a okay? I'm fine with the Constitution save.
It's a Constitution save. So everybody, throw me 2 Constitution saves to represent those 2 hours. Nothing is going to mess with you throughout the entire day because you're a giant city-sized dragon. About the only thing that would try to mess with you would be a Zartan, but you are flying too high for it to mess with you. Oh, and since you are keeping an eye out, Simar, you would have noticed throughout the day, like in the marshes, it's a weird sort of place because the marshes are a lot deeper than you initially thought, because you do see occasionally like this turtle shell just swimming through this mud beneath you. And it hasn't left you alone this entire time, but you're faster than it, so eventually you just put it in in your rear view mirror essentially.
Right.
But for the first couple hours, it does follow you. It tries to keep up with you and stays pretty much right below you, progressively getting farther and farther back.
I'm out of right field, but there's a reason I'm doing this. Can I cast Sending?
Who's your target?
My brother. I'm just gonna send him a simple, "Hey, can you have a new ring made for me?"
Done.
Okay, cool.
Okay, but beyond that, nothing special happens. And then let's see. Good. Sorry, makes it, but barely. Flying as a giant dragon is hard.
He made ability checks, not saves, so plus 14 to both.
I know.
Okay.
It's still tiring.
It's at 11 for the first hour and at 12 for the second hour. Let's see. So 5, 10, 15, and then 14. So in the 12 hours of travel there at Vondar, when you observe Sariel, you notice its craftsmanship is beyond anything you've seen. The closer and the more you focus on one part of it, the more details you find. Like this is like beyond masterwork. You've seen masterwork, and not most of the time they are immaculate, they're flawless, they are almost unique to the point of, even if you're making if you had 2 long swords, one was regular, one was a masterwork, there would be so many unique design features to the masterwork that it sets it apart in its own league. This is even above that quality. You know that whoever made this has a skill that is unmatched even by Lynx. You've seen Lynx's best, or at least what you think is the best, and you've seen what your family has produced, and no one has come close to this. You'd also observe that every detail isn't like a carved line. At first, that's what, when you're just looking at it casually, that's what you would think it is. But as you use your new eye and you work with your skills, you observe closer. They're not lines. They are literal text that forms each curve. Every cut is formed by some sort of language.
I gained comprehend languages when I took a level of Dragon Rider. Can I use that to try and read the text?
It's a lot of it is. It's a good thing you have comprehend languages. You didn't try to do this singularly. You get the sense the moment you start using comprehend languages is that this almost seems to contain every language. Every curve starts in, say, Dwarvish and ends in Elvish. The next one starts in Giant and ends in Gnomish. There's even like goblin in both versions of goblin, and I'm a goblin. There's all 4 dialects of primordial, as well as the generalized dialect of primordial. It doesn't really say anything that you understand. It seems like gibberish, but even in 12 hours, you don't have enough time to observe the entire sword to get the entire, like, say, scripture. So right now, I would say you, if you'd like to, you could write down as you have part of the scripture that took, and I would put a 12-hour mark there, just so you know how much time it took you to read that. But the gibberish you can read seems to be, scripture is a good word for it. Poem would be another good descriptor for it. So you guys find yourselves in the center. You found yourself in the center a while ago, but it is exactly as it looks like on the map. It is a giant black hole, and it seems bottomless.
Well, this is just as what's the word? Imposing as I imagined staring into a fathomless void would be. I'm gonna make one last perception check to see if there's anyone or anything, and I will use my last charge to do it with True Sight.
Yep.
32.
As you float above the hole and you take a look around, you see various. Hang on, before I finish my description. 200 to 1,000. Actually, you wouldn't see much of anything. It's a beautiful night sky. It's pretty clear. It's kind of brisk, like upper six, not upper 50s, lower 60s kind of area. The wind has shifted from the west to the southwest. And as you float here, perception includes both sight and sound, feeling and taste. The air here tastes like dirt. Like almost an excessive amount of dust is in the air. But as you're observing the area, you don't see dust. It is clear. There's also a disturbing lack of sound here. Not like silence in terms of the spell, but almost like devoid of life silent.
Right. Well, to me, these are things that I would assume would be true besides the dirt smell. But that also kind of makes sense. All right. Vesteel, you wouldn't happen to have any magic to enhance throwing capabilities, would you?
I'm sorry, say again.
You wouldn't happen to have any magic to enhance throwing capabilities, would you?
I think it's more of a drop than a throw.
I turned myself down so that so you guys wouldn't hear over my mic. My apologies. One last time.
You wouldn't happen to have any magic to enhance throwing, would you?
Throwing. I might have catapult.
Ah. Well, considering how high we are, dropping it would equal terminal velocity anyway, so I'm just going to pull out the cube and chuck it with all of my superhuman might into the pit. Just so it gets to the bottom faster.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I don't have anything for you.
As you go to reel back and toss this with all your might, the world seems to stop around you. Your perceptions are in full effect, but you feel like you can't move.
We've been time stopped.
You hear a voice. Now. Are you sure that is what you want to do? Putting that thing into that hole is only going to create a problem for us 9 months down the line. One that the inhabitants of the swamp would much prefer you didn't unleash upon them. So I'm just going to simply ask nicely. Would you give me that seed instead?
Who
And
are
go
you
about
and
your
why
business?
and why should I agree to this?
One moment. I need to look up his name because I blanked on his name. He is. You may call me Razligus. I am a concerned third party who represents the peoples of the swamp.
Well, that is certainly an issue or a conundrum, as this is a problem of, are the people who live in the world more important than the world itself?
I have no concern for the rest of the world. I only have concern for this tiny, insignificant corner.
Are we all hearing the voice, or
Yes, you're hearing it.
well, this is part of the world? If the world is in trouble, this insignificant corner of it is also in trouble.
I see some truth in what you say.
Be right back.
However, it is, like I said, it is not my request. I am making the request on behalf of the peoples. Can I take this to mean that you will not hand over the cube?
It's, I mean, to be curt, no, I do not intend to hand the cube over. However, will still inquire for a proposal that can help both parties, for I am one who wishes not to cause harm to the people of the world.
If you want a proposal that would work for both parties, then jump in yourself with the cube. We'd much rather have an elf serve as the heart than to have the heart prior become anew. Or reborn anew, I should say.
Simivar begins seriously considering this.
Maybe confer with the one who gave you it in the first place before you do.
You're very quiet.
Maybe, well, Shiyun is kind of saying this whisperingly, but I will speak louder. Maybe confer with the one who gave it to you before you do jump. And you can do that through prayer. Hint, hint, reminder.
Well, then I will begin to pray to Ryu, the storm god.
Okay. While it certainly could be possible that this outcome would be also acceptable, I doubt at your current level and capability that you would survive the process. I believe the being is offering the solution more as a blood price than what his honeyed words are trying to tempt you into doing. Also, I was not aware that there was any entity that served over the swamps.
Is there a way, Ryu, to make both happy, or to save the people that live in the swamp come 9 months' time, as the being is informed us about?
Not that I can think of personally. I unfortunately must measure the weight of the world versus the weight of the people.
We don't actually see this being, we just hearing the voice.
And you are actually time stopped. Like, it's a weird version of time stop because you can still see, hear, smell, taste. So all of your senses, you just have no motor functions whatsoever.
Right.
In fact, even when you're speaking, you're not actually like speaking. You realize you're using telepathy. His nephew Czar with you.
Is that Ryu or
Yes.
Brazelgee's asking?
No,
Yeah,
Thinking, throw
Zar,
Fuck.
Zar is with us. In fact, he is currently a city dragon. Fortress dragon.
Czar, you feel an overwhelming presence take over you. You all start to hear a resounding crack. And within a moment, this time stop shatters.
I tossed the cube down.
I pull out a spell scroll. I'm holding that ready.
Okay.
I'd be taken over.
You all just hear telepathically in your mind, no! And then it's like static. Static happens, and it's like someone cut the communication. Simamar, below, you see the seed fall, or the cube, and it reaches terminal velocity. And as it enters into the darkness, you just feel this sense of accomplishment. And then you see a bright sparkle.
We should probably get out of here.
Ascend!
Czar,
Ascend!
you start drifting lazily to the right as a pillar of fire shoots up into the sky, and a mushroom cloud shortly follows after.
Ooh.
Because Simar, actually, since everybody has a hand in this except for Czar,
We're going down. We're going down.
I need 3 D100s, 1 D30, and a D2.
From everybody.
No,
I'll do the 30.
yeah. One
I'll
person
do the
roll one set.
D100s.
I'll do the coin flip.
Oof. You know, sometimes low can be good.
I like how 2 of Simamar's numbers didn't beat Craze.
You know, some tables, a 4 and a 5 is great.
At least she rolled high.
Max.
Because of that 2, roll me another D100, Shion.
Okay.
Hey, Czar. Can you remind
Yes,
me
sir.
Can you remind me what CR that brain was again?
I'll never find that
Yikes.
information when I'm looking up on GM Player. I'm over on the other one now.
Can I just say oof?
14.
Okay, thank you. So,
That was my brain, not your brain, right?
yes,
Because I don't know what your brain was.
it was your brain. He got nuked again. Not that the party knows that, but you guys just nuked the brain again.
What?
He didn't plan for that one, motherfucker.
You should have time stopped me before I started throwing.
The reason I asked if we could see it is because I can tell if I'm being lied to if I can see the person talking.
Yeah, understood.
I had a feeling he might not have actually been speaking for the creatures of the swamp marsh.
That's a good insight there, Vondar.
So 16. No, 79. Holy Mother of Mary. There's 6 people in this party, right?
Yeah. Unless you don't want to count Riven because he's MIA right now.
But if it's XP, it's always divided by 5.
You're right. Thank you.
So there is 6 people, but
Understood. Yeah, I know. Holy shit.
What did we do?
you just birthed the heart, baby.
Oh, yeah, thank you for reminding me. That means I need to add a ×2 multiplier to this.
This is what happens when you get a plot quest and you immediately do it.
And have the means to avoid all the danger.
Yes.
Because I'll be 100% candid with you right now. Had you gone with the airship, depending on how Vondar built the airship, you would have been attacked constantly. Because, like I said, there are things that did not want this to happen. But not many things are going to go around fucking with a dragon the size of a city.
No, that was a great call. That was a great call, Shion.
Well, the Fortune Dragon was Jet's proposal, but the gate was mine.
Oh. Good teamwork, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be the dragon. I had to break all my bones to become it.
I salute your sacrifice. Hey, now you can add restoring a heart to your campaign for becoming emperor.
That's a lot.
And that is after the division of 8.
That's after the.
Oh!
You guys killed 79 Ulatharids.
I don't know what that is, but okay.
Evolved Mind Flare. So an Ulatharid is a different offshoot of Mind Flare evolution.
Oh.
Basically, you have Mind Flayers that eventually become Elder Brains if they stay alive long enough. Or they have a second branching feature of Ulatharids. And Ulatharids are kind of like, they still serve underneath the Elder Brains, but they're still much stronger than a Mind Flayer. They're basically like generals, politicians. They would inhabit very high levels of Mind Flayer society. And you guys just dropped a nuke on them. Oh, and by the way, all of them were mythic.
I feel really good about this. Fuck
Son of
my
a
cards.
bitch! Simamar, this is your fault.
What did I do?
We were supposed to do this in one more level.
Oh.
We haven't taken them kill a mythic creature yet.
We were saving that for later, but maybe we can make an exception. We got it over with early. I don't know. Let's talk to our handler about it. Not that I'm in the running anyway. I'm just here to help you guys.
Does the guild card record kills that are not tied to actual quests?
Yep. Because that actually applies to your conquests in the Hunter's Guild.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, I'm back. I had to step away for a minute. Can you recap real quick what happened in the past 10 minutes? Because it sounded like it was a lot.
Killed a ton of mythic mind flayers, got Buko XP, and that's the super short of it.
And then I blame Simamar because we weren't on the quest to kill a mythic yet.
Of course we weren't.
I mean, we are going to do diplomacy next. That's what we originally decided upon.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I don't know if it would actually count for you guys, because technically I was the one who killed all of them.
Well, we all got XP.
This is true,
How much
but
XP did we get? Oh my god.
for the for the context of the grand quest, though,
Right, that was for all of the 9 players by itself, or that was including the quest?
Oh, this isn't a guild quest, so that hasn't even been awarded yet.
yeah, we need to head back to the Black City to visit the guilds. And definitely talk to the handler.
Put my base at the bottom of a hole, they said. It'd be fun, they said.
I mean, it's a good place for a secret hideout because who's gonna go fucking around in the giant voidless hole? Random adventurers, that's who.
You can never avoid 4 dumbasses. 4 dumbasses with probably 100 intelligence between all of them.
Yo.
Actually, a lot more than that. I've got 20. You and Riven both have 30.
Yeah. I have 29. Feel not and Czar have 29. Can anyone plane shift us back to the Black City, or are we flying back?
No one can plane shift us back to the Black City.
If we're on the plane.
I need Vondar to send us to the elemental plane of air, and then I can recast Gate.
That the Fortress Dragon is still slightly listing to the left.
I'm not driving
Zara,
the Fortress Dragon back to the Black City.
Zara, are you okay?
I don't know if I'm in control yet, but yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, you scared us.
Well, why don't we get over land and that'll take another 12 hours.
You can
And you're
go. I
already
can make it there.
exhausted. You sure you're already tired?
Oh yeah, I can just be at the Black City. I just can't be at the Black City and you guys fucking fall off me.
You're a
Okay,
giant fortress dragon. Does everyone count as objects on you?
I mean,
Creatures being worn and carried.
we do cast shadows, so technically we are objects.
I'll take us all to air and
Oh my gosh! When we get to the air, I want you guys to look around to see if there are any weird eyes watching us.
Yeah, my true sight should still be up, so I will take a gander.
Nothing but a bunch of constructs.
All right, Vondar,
right.
all of your spirit observers are gone now.
yeah.
I will use my reflection again to cast Gate.
This time you don't need to roll a D100.
Perfect.
Triumphantly, we return, narrator.
There is a teeny tiny Fortress Dragon outside the guild hall. They can still alter size.
You can.
Wow.
Oh,
So
but I
that's what
wanted
you
to
look
shoot
like.
down the fortress dragon.
I don't fucking fly over cities.
Yeah, that's a horrible idea.
Are we aware that we gained experience when the bomb went off?
Not yet.
Okay.
You can take the experience, but you're just not aware that you've gained it quite yet.
Right. So Now that we're back, I don't know. I'm sure Ryu's going to pull me into the dreamscape to talk to me. I don't know if he's going to drag you all with me since, you know, we all contributed. So just be ready to be in front of a giant dragon serpent with
Oh.
rainy weather and water for a floor.
I will mentally prepare myself for that. Do you want to tell him, hey, it's done?
I'm a city.
I think he knows.
He probably does.
Uh,
I'm a
I'm gonna
city
go
in
get
a
a
city.
drink. Who else wants a drink? I would like a drink.
I like drinks.
Drinks sound great. Head to the educated teacup.
Vondar. So out of character, I don't remember his name. I think it's like Tiberius or something. Your guys' handler for the Grand Quest.
Nope.
Leo, no, it's
Oh, yeah,
Ravenhold.
they were both
Ravenhold.
Leo. We got Bravenhold.
Correct.
You think he could set up a meeting with Leo to see if what we did contributed towards your Grand Quest?
What did we do?
We don't know that we killed anything
We
yet.
threw a rock in a hole.
I mean,
Threw her up in a hole.
we saved. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily save the world, but we restored balance. Something. Maybe we
I'm
restored
still
heart.
listing to the left.
I'm gonna look at my guild card to see if any like mission completed or anything like that.
This wasn't a guild quest, so there's nothing
Okay.
to look at. Your guild card stares back at you.
It's
Wishing
got
you'd
eyes.
seen it more.
Yeah, I don't take that thing out very often because it has the cell on its name. But now it's okay to have that on me.
You sure?
No, but I think.
All right. So it's like late. So you want us to get a hold of the? There's like 8 things you wanted us to do. Which one do you want us to do first?
Are you talking to me?
Uh,
You wanted to go
Dale?
drinking. You wanted to get a hold of our handler. You wanted to talk to your number one.
Number one will contact us when it's time. Drinks do sound good. But I do feel like that it's about time for us to speak with Leo.
We have to hit level 8 before we can go to the next part of our adventure.
Uh, then drinks it is.
4,
It
8,
is
12, 16, 20.
To the educated teacup then.
celebration.
You guys can do whatever you want. I'm going to bed. I'm exhausted.
Also, Simar, roll a d20.
D20. 17.
You gain 1 devotion point.
Ooh.
You pursued the truth, or at least a version of the truth, even though it was and you were ready to accept it, even if it cost a region of the world. It balances the entire world. I'd say that falls under your pursuing the truth. You also
Right.
went out of your way to go talk with or pray to the storm dragon to make sure that this was the best option. So I would say in this instance I would allow for a devotion roll, and then obviously you rolled fairly well there.
Yep. I have unlocked Soda Truth, DC 15.
I'm gonna say, you guys go to Educate Teacup. I'm gonna go with Vondar, and see you guys later.
See you when we see
Seems
you.
like it's just all right. Bye, Czar. Love you.
Love you. When we're out of earshot, I turn to Vondar and go, you were smart to leave those guys because their suckers got to go pay for their drinks, and we just go back to the voiceless flute, and my handler pays for them.
Yep.
I raise my high five.
High five. If you're still listing, and you're tiny, I'll like put you on my shoulder.
Whoa, yeah. Oh, hey. Ooh, ooh.
well, it's a party of two, it seems.
Indeed.
As you enter the Educated Teacup, it is late, but not so late that there aren't people here. You would
I figured
see
the educated teacup would have a nice nightlife, or is it
They
getting
do.
way late?
they do. It usually quiets down around 25 to 2700, depending on what you find or what day it is and what the events are going on.
Fair enough.
But you still see kind of, I'd say, mid to end of the dinner rush. So it's not like so packed that you can't find a place to sit, but it's also not pick and choose. It's you kind of got to go where they show you,
Mhm.
which happens to be a booth in the corner. A gelatinous friend comes sauntering up. Welcome to the Educated Teacup. Blurble, blurble. What can I get for you?
The house special and something mixed with gin.
A brave individual.
Just a tea if you have it. Of course you have it. This is called the educated teacup.
I think the last time, well, I've been here a couple of times recently, but the last time that I actually stayed here was 30 years ago.
Writes down your order. Be right back. As it kind of saunters away.
It's been a rare moment since we've been able to have a quiet conversation. I wanted to ask Cinemar, what are your goals? What is it that you hope to achieve in this quest of ours?
Um, well, as I am not here to become emperor, I feel that I've been fairly vocal in my desire for personal power in order to do the most good in the world, to keep catastrophes and cataclysms from occurring, you know, for friends and family and, the good people of the world.
She nods. Does it take no other form than that, just for you to be a standby champion of peace and the people?
I mean, it depends. I mean, it doesn't really matter what form it takes if I end up staying who I am and becoming like a, you know, one of the 11, I think, shining stars, or if I do ascend to divinity and become a deity, um I would try to be a very active god, and I think with the Thunderdomes that would allow me the freedom to do that.
It's funny how we can discuss such things as becoming a god and it not sound entirely ridiculous and far-fetched, that is something that's actually within one's grasp.
It's the people who you surround yourself with, and considering that we've been around Tsar, Field Nut, and Riven for several months now,
And her, I kind of look to the doll that's ever
and
present on my head.
Teacher,
I'm
You
not
know-
divine. What are you talking about?
much, 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 much higher than that. Anyway,
I am not. I am just a totem.
because I have the belt of godly form and I can speak telepathically, can I hear her telepathic speech now?
or she talking
Yes.
out loud.
Oh, she was talking directly to you, but with the belt, yes, you would hear a lot of. You actually hear a lot more conversations than you used to. You realize that there are many races and individuals in the Black City that can use telepathy. You don't have to listen if you don't want to, but you do hear the buzz, so to speak, the background of it happening.
Right. I'll try to filter the buzz out and focus on Teacher and say, well, considering the many things that you have taught Visteel, you are still an amazing individual, and thank you for being by your side.
You know, in some respects, I could be considered a slave. She just starts pondering her existence. I was traded by one of the Jacks to a wayward elf who's under the effects of a donjon and a clone spell and a simulacrum spell. Nope, scratch that last one. Nope, that's too far in the future.
Am I hearing this?
Yeah, she's pondering it out in telepathic range, so you hear it and he hears it.
Gonna unpack that a bit later.
And as you're thinking this, the slime comes back, puts 2 drinks down in front of you, some Mar, and then puts a teapot with a teacup next to you. This deal.
Or I kind of look at him expectantly, like for a price. Oh, that's normally what bartenders do. They tell you the price.
Enjoy, as he just slithers away.
Okay.
All right.
I'll just leave an iridium before we leave. You know, my original purpose for being on this is completely moot and done now.
Well, I would argue that you have a new focus, a new purpose that superseded your previous one.
Oh, very much so. I'm just like thinking like how much that like I came on this quest for one purpose, and that purpose has become obsolete. I want to build a school.
Ooh.
That's what I want to do. I was completely self-taught before Teacher, so that's why I want to build a school. I think, whatever form or state this quest sees me in at the end of it, I want to make a school.
I mean, that's an admirable goal and very grounded.
I hear there's a recent vacancy in the southern part of the Guilds district.
I have a lot of money.
You have a ridiculous amount of money.
I do have a ridiculous amount of money. How would I even go about this has been a pipe dream of
Oh,
mine.
hey, thank you.
How
That
do I
reminds
actually
me.
go out of my way to do this?
That actually reminds me. Speaking of money, you guys actually would have got paid today.
Oh, with the next thingamajig from the payment plan.
Well, one of you. Well, that's the group, but some of you have also made some investments. So I have some roles to do.
I have 4 million already. I'm in investments.
Oh, I don't have the lava arm anymore. Don't duplicate the lava arm.
Duplicate it.
Did you already subtract that value from your bank, Shion?
Subtract 17 from my bank.
No, I said have you subtracted like the 4 million from the bank?
I have it. I have a loot item. I think it's Shion's. Where is it? I have Ironforge bank account in my inventory, and it's split what's in my bank and what's in investments. So I have a 1,875,000 in the bank and 4 million in investments.
Alrighty. Well, you know you lost 4% this month.
Yeah, that happens. What's 4% of 4 million?
A lot.
400,000.
160,000.
$150,000.
Correct. Anyone else who had investments, that's just going to be the roll for everybody. But you do also get paid out 145,833 iridium. So you all may add that to your bank account.
So 144,000 and what?
Hold on, I'll post it.
Thank you, good sir.
Thank you.
Uh, 833. That is where I am at.
What was the new number, Simamar? The one that we just got a bonus of?
145,833. It's in the chat.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I'm blind.
There goes my nice even numbers.
Yep. And since we're settling numbers now, how much was the monthly payment plan?
145,833.
All right, could you type that into the chat because
It's
It
already
is.
in the
That's
chat.
what I posted.
Oh,
That's the one I asked you for.
Oh, that. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got my numbers backwards then. So back to 2 mil invested. Money's hard, okay. Uh, 833. Okay. There we go. Okay. My accounts are settled.
So I'd say, unless there's something pressing, the rest of the night is spent talking, going over some ideas, and then turning in for the night.
What happens if you successfully pass the Constitution save for the house special?
That's special.
Never mind, you're not sleeping tonight. So Simimar, as you drink this drink, it's almost sickly sweet. It pretty much tastes like when you ask for something with gin in it, they literally just brought you gin with like 6 cups of sugar.
Ugh.
It is sickly sweet. But as you take a drink of it, you find notes that don't just impart sugar and gin. There are just other unfamiliar tastes in there as well. And as you make me a con save, well, actually, what's your modifier for con?
Plus 18.
You pass with that. You pass without the issue because it's one of the lower drinks. You're Shion. You just are sitting there drinking, getting sip of your tea, and you just see Simmar's eyes become wide as saucer plates. Simmar, you are imbued with a unholy amount of just energy. You feel
You
like
okay there?
while you're under the effects of this drink, you could actually travel another 12 hours and be good. Your movement speed is increased by 5. You get a +1 to your dex saves. You get a +1 to your AC. And he just abruptly stands up and starts pacing. Because unfortunately, the other effect of this drink is that you cannot sit still. You feel not necessarily compelled, but you just feel a need to.
It's the zoomies.
Exactly.
The zoomies. Doing okay there, Simimar?
I am full of energy. I gotta run. I want to run. Oof. That's punch. Whee! How are you doing tonight? It's lovely outside.
Do you wanna go outside? Let's go outside.
Yeah, let's go outside. He activates fast
Actually,
and is immediately out of the building.
oh my god. I just calmly get up, enjoy my tea, drop an iridium on the counter, and head on out.
As you drink your tea, you feel a warm blanket is thrown over you. The effects of this tea are very simple. Depending on what your racial features are, it takes half the normal time for you to gain the benefits of a long rest.
Okay, I guess none of us are sleeping tonight. So like
2 hours.
Normally, so, yeah. Gonna kind of walk outside, and did someone just fuck off, or is he outside?
Is doing donuts. Like he's walking, but because he's activated 5 ranks of fast, it's like there's multiple after images of him just flowing in a rainbow in a donut.
This
I
looks
feel
like a scene out of The Flash because he's also a storm ASMR. So you actually see bits of lightning kind of streaking off of him harmlessly, but almost like a prestidigitation effect. He actually does kind of look like the Flash right now.
Okay. I'm gonna look around and see if anybody's. It's not. I know it's late, but is like anybody looking at this guy?
There's a few onlookers who are like staring half out of interest, half out of boredom.
You wanna slow it down there for me, buddy?
If
Samamar?
if the Pythagorean theorem can expose the universal truth of how light refracts to make rainbows,
Walk with me. Walk with me. So just match my pace, and I'm gonna. I guess I'm gonna find myself at the guild ward, the Southern Guild Ward, and start looking at buildings.
I will make a intelligence check to see if I can control myself enough to go. Nope, I am all over the place. So I am following you, but I'm also going ahead of you, and then behind you, and then in the alley over there, and then I'm next to you.
I wanted to do this anyway, so I'm just gonna go, I guess, building shopping for maybe something that would make a good school.
I can see if there's any for sale signs. Bzz. Zoop. There are. I don't know. You want me to roll to see if I can find any for sale buildings?
He does my task extremely quickly.
Sure. Make a perception
Eh,
check.
investigation or perception?
I'd say perception because you're moving so fast that it's hard to investigate something closely.
Can I make an investigation check because I'm taking my time?
Yes, yes.
I also want to like look and see what would be good for my needs when I'm considering this.
Simamar identifies 4 buildings for sale.
I rolled a natural 20.
Shion, he'll zip back and kind of like start dragging you in the direction you need to go. As you come in and observe the buildings, let me make some signage. Let's just go with this.
Boop.
So the first building he'd bring you to is a big building, which Simamar is confused at first, kind of slowing down for a moment, realizes this is the building where the Emerald Phoenix was.
It's practically already built.
What's the Emerald Phoenix?
It's a super school that moved to the Dragon Isles. We accidentally went there thinking it was the hatchery.
Right, I remember. That it used to be hosted here.
Yeah, I guess it did used to be here.
I look at the sign. Is there like a real estate agency or something?
All real estate is handled by the Black City Housing District.
Oof, oof, oof. Are you a Z-ranked adventurer?
I'm a noble.
You're a noble. All right. Checking the box. Good.
I do need to get my rank for my brother though. At some point.
Where is your brother? I'm sure we could go to him right now.
It's the middle of the night. Although he's an elf like me, so maybe he's awake. I mean, I just sent him. I just asked him to give me another one like yesterday, so I'm not sure that that's done yet.
Yeah, we should probably wait then. Starts fidgeting.
Hey, how fast can you run around the entire Black City?
Let's see.
Let's find
Let
out.
me
Go.
zoom. I will also cast a spell of Expeditious Retreat so I can double dash.
It's like an elementary school where the fastest guy is impressing the girls.
Let's see. So my current top speed, rank 5, is times 30. And I am dashing twice. I can move up to 5,400 feet in 6 seconds. That's a mile every 6 seconds.
It takes him less than 30 seconds.
Did you even do it again?
I thought that would occupy you for a little bit longer. Sure, just for my entertainment.
You know what? While I am zooming around the city, I want to look for a nice spot in the upper regions of the city with a bench with a nice view of the city.
See me. Bondar, yeah.
Well, you would find. You don't find a place per se for exactly what you're looking for, but you do know that if you really wanted to, you could run up to the top of one of these statues, or heck, even the giant statue of the last wall, and pretty much from the top of there you'd see everything.
All
It does
right.
look like there's benches in front of this one statue.
All
Yeah,
right.
but you
Probably
want to
not-
see the entire city. You wouldn't see the entire
Right.
city considering it's
Yep.
flat.
Fair enough.
So, upon returning to Vestille, I will say, all right, I have a great idea, and I'm going to temporarily abduct you. So, hold still as I
Okay.
pick her up, and I go to the top of the giant statue.
But still,
Yeah.
make a strength saving throw.
Yeah, sure.
Some of them are make an athletics check.
$30.
I am a wizard, sir.
You have no issues hanging on to your prize, shall we say, as you zip to the top of a statue. Unfortunately, you are going so fast that Shion, you had barely any time to brace yourself, and you get whiplash.
Just gonna set you down. Just gonna give you a nice
Damn
pat on the head with healing touch.
it.
And then I will also use healing touch on myself to end, hopefully, the effect that I am under, because it cures his poisons.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Oh, sorry about that. I hope the whiplash didn't affect you too badly.
I have been hurt worse.
Well, what do you think of the
What was
view?
this? Look out across the view of the city. It's night, I assume, and oh, there's a lot of like flickering lights, or what do I see? Jet.
Yeah, it's a bustling city, so you'd see plenty of lights. The arena would actually still be lit up. You'd see that they had just pretty much finished off the chokeboard races for the day.
Nighttime chocobo races. Can you see like into the Coliseum from this angle?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you see something a little unnerving in the water. Swimming down the river that cuts through the Black City.
Ooh, look at the fish.
Fish.
As he says fish, you look down and you see long coils of what appears to be some sort of serpent-like creature.
Yeah, I don't think that's a fish.
It is a resident.
That is supposed to be there. I assume. But to answer your question, the city is lovely. I don't think I've ever seen it from this angle the few times I've been here in my past.
Well, I'm glad that I could present this opportunity to build a good memory.
What is his name?
And to take another look out at the city as I'm just like sitting over the edge of the statue and enjoying the quiet moment. You said you had an idea. Was it just a view this? I don't mean to say to imply that this is anything other than amazing, but an idea sounded like she was socially awkward, by the way, despite having a high charisma.
All right. Out of character, to quote one of my favorite commanders, through boldness, victory. All right.
You see underneath your feet, carved into the stone of what is assumably Fenbrix's head. Rilos was here.
Anyways, go on, Silvermar.
All right. This might be a little cringe, but we're gonna do it. I will put a hand under your chin, and I will move in to kiss you.
She will kiss you
And then the world fades to black.
back.
So we will say it's 10 hours later for the rest of the party.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gains the benefits of a long rest. It does go past midnight, so anything that gains back charges at the start of a new day gains their charges. And it's still dark.
Oh, because a thunderstorm. That's nice. Dry thunderstorm.
With a little bit of warm rain.
Yeah.
At what point do we find out that we got an ungodly amount of XP?
Simimar, as you slept through, well, sort of slept through, your long rest, you are pulled into a different space. The moment you enter the space, it is hotter than even the plane of fire. You hear an annoying clanging sound, but it's not like small. As you focus on the sound, you realize it's more like thunder. And as you adjust to the space around you, you realize you see an anvil that towers. It dwarfs even the one that you saw in Lynx's shop.
Oh.
It is monolithic, doesn't even begin to describe the size of this thing. And as you see lightning flash in the background, your mind almost breaks at what you witness. You see an actual being that is bigger than a planet. And you realize the thundering sound you heard is him clanging whatever he's hitting on this anvil.
Oh.
You see
Lynx.
shoots of thunder and lightning off in the distance. And feel a draw to that direction.
Oh, okay. Hello.
And almost as if to return the favor, you are shot forward through space, but you aren't the one moving. Space is moving around you. As you just feel yourself like almost like slingshot forward. And then as it stops, you see reality bend back and forth around you before it settles. You see in a dome, a crater, someone who looks somewhat like Zarge and Felton. Except he looks like a goblin wearing a little dragon onesie. He's holding an axe that is incredibly too big for him. Like, this looks like it was made for a fire giant, and he is tiny in size. Across from him on the battlefield is a dragonborn, or at least that's what you think it is at first, but it reminds you of Riven, only much, much more jacked. As a reminder, this is what Riven looks like.
Currently, yeah.
This is what the person
used to look like.
this is
Oh,
what the person
yeah.
across the way looks like.
That's the Dragon Rider for Ryu.
And as you're coming to this realization, you see you are basically sitting next to a giant coil, and you see that Ryu's just kind of sitting there, resting there rather, observing this fight as you watch the two just start to clash. Every time they clash, lightning and thunder just shoot off in every direction. And you see at one point all these little like goblins with bird wings just appear and start to attack the giant dragonborn. And it looks like an all-out war has broken out between this one individual and this small goblin and a dragon onesie.
Oh my God.
This is a lot to take in.
Unfortunately, you got your job done a lot faster than I was anticipating. And we were visiting this space today to test that axe.
Yeah. Well, it seemed kind of important to, do it sooner than later, considering the implications of other entities might not want this.
That's fair. I also did not account for my nephew to ascend so quickly.
I'm assuming that this is a friendly spar.
And as you say that, you hear a shattering sound. You see that giant axe. It just falls to pieces. And you can kind of hear across the way cursing, and I'm a goblin like, damn it, I tried my best. Basically frustrated that this was just not near his standard of perfection.
Are the rest of my companions going to be seeing visions like this as well, or is it just me?
Just you. You're the only one who was charged with this. They will be rewarded, obviously.
Right.
For a reminder of what the other person looks like.
The incarnation of terror.
Yeah, that goblin is horrifying and scary. I think I fought it once
As Yuki?
as Yuki. Yeah.
Oh. I mean, I'm here now. I don't know. I was just kind of resting and oh, I guess I'm hanging out with you guys.
He actually lets out an audible sigh. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this.
Why is that?
When you wake, you will find in your bed or sleeping roll or wherever you end up sleeping. You might actually be asleep on a giant statue, but who knows? You will find two square objects that look much like playing cards.
Oh.
One will grant you any item you desire, as long as it has existed before, and
Hold on.
you're
Any?
not asking for, I don't know, a planetary nuke buster.
What about the sword that Vondar
Oh,
got?
you can ask for those. They just turn into confetti now.
That unfortunately is not something.
That could be duplicated. I was just seeing the boundaries.
It's more that it has to be an item that I myself could create
Oh.
with their skill level, pointing to the goblin dragon.
Does the goblin dragon take offense to this? I'm not there.
No,
Sure,
the goblin dragon knows better. So I cannot replicate an item of that caliber, but I could replicate pretty much anything else. And like I said, as long as you're not asking for something to destroy a planet, it will be yours to claim.
Okay.
The second card is a little dangerous, and I mean that for me, not for you. This will allow you to ask for an improvement of any kind.
You keep throwing around a lot of anythings, and it is slightly concerning.
You've performed a service that is going to have major implications in the future. The kind that is necessary for when the Firstborn's initiative takes effect.
This is the first time I'm hearing of the Firstborn's initiative. Select dialogue option, explore. Could you tell me more about the Firstborn initiative?
The Firstborn has grown weary of being a babysitter. Some of us gods perform our jobs as intended and stay within our purview as we're supposed to. If it deals with your domain, you're supposed to deal with the domain. You're also allowed to oppose oppositional domains. So, a very good example is the relationship between Tiamat and Bahamut. As of late, there have been many who have not adhered to that standard. It wasn't exactly a rule, but it was like common courtesy. As a result, the firstborn, who has much better things to do, has decided that divines who have been redeemed are to return to the divine realm and rule and work from the divine realm rather than hold space here.
Right. And gods that are naturally born or ascending from people born of the material plane stay on the material plane?
Most likely not. There are a few exceptions because there is a divine who is actually the keeper of the material plane, and there is a divine who is a heart in of themselves. So they are necessary to facilitate the balance that we need, unless they give up their position to another of equal standing. But we aren't asking them to do that. And of course, the Emperor himself is a divine, though that may change depending on who succeeds him. So, if you have aspirations to become a divine, it is certainly a possibility. Just keep in mind that there is a draw, or there will be a serious movement, shall we say, to take all of those who are full-fledged divines and make them do their job properly and from the divine realm.
Yeah, that kind of goes counter to my goals of helping the world if I can't directly interact with it. Unless I can somehow get a domain that allows me to do so.
That is possible. There is also rumor that he is going to crack down on the amount of divines, so I believe the idea is one divine per rank per position. There are generally 10 positions per rank. And thanks to the fall of the other divines, there are definitely spots open.
All right, that is good to know.
But as I said, any improvement. You didn't perform a test. You didn't perform a quest for me. I am just the one who is shuffling the information along.
Who was it that we did it for then?
The firstborn.
Oh!
Which means you have indirect connections at the very least with 2 guardians now, Simomar. Be careful. While that is not a bad thing in of itself, if anyone finds out who has knowledge of what guardians are, they may seek to influence you more than they should.
Right. Okay.
I could also
Is
give you
there
gold if you want, but I don't, or iridium if you want, but I don't really think you need it.
no, not right
It,
now.
it seems like that seems like a penance of a reward for your esteemed group, who has not even
Oh,
decided on a name yet.
hmm. Since I am here, I would like to ask a question. So, how does the I don't know your guys's or the firstborn's plans include Field Knot? Like, would he go back to the Divine Realm as well?
Yes, he may have a coalition course, depending on how much more he pursues his path. He may have a coalition course with another guardian.
Okay, that's very good to know.
Otherwise, he would probably serve from the Divine Realm as one of our lesser divines.
Hmm.
His domains are interesting, to say the least.
He is certainly a character. All right. I don't think I have anything else that I want to ask at this time.
Then enjoy your victory.
Thank you.
Yep. And with that, you wake up.
Uh,
And as everyone's waking, you all do find exactly what was stated. There are 2 cards. One appears to be like an anvil and hammer, and the other just is a question mark, but it has like a polychrome finish.
I'll try to identify them.
Did we sleep on the fucking statue?
I
That's up
don't.
to you two. As you
You go from
identify,
rags to from riches to rags.
as you identify them, Vondar, the first one comes up as an anything voucher. I think that's exactly how they would word it. It's an anything voucher.
Literally anything.
And you are aware of the exact effects, as it says. Basically, if it's an item that has already existed once and isn't, and you aren't requesting it for the purposes of destroying a planet. Those words specifically are used, destroying a planet. Then it could be redeemed for that. Although, since you get a little bit more information, basically you know that it can redeem anything up to artifact, and you are now made aware of a new rarity, which the player was sort of aware of, but lesser god forged.
Is there a table where we can look over Lesser God forged items?
This would be more you'd have to know them. This challenges the character's knowledge.
If I were to ask teacher about, now that I'm aware of that tier, if I were to ask teacher about said items, could I?
Well, you aren't aware of that tier. This was for Vondar only.
Oh, okay, cool.
Vondar was making a specific identify of it. And then the other one, it tells you the same thing. It is a voucher of improvement. Basically can be redeemed for any improvement you want.
Okay. I'll head to try and find the others.
Yeah.
Oh, and it would, and again, since you get a little bit more information, you'd be informed that when it says any improvement, you can go outside your class as well. If you can't normally gain it because of class restriction, you can ignore that. If there's a level restriction, you can ignore that.
When you go downstairs to the eating place, you see a snowman Zara waiting for you.
Did you get these and show him the cards? The real you, I mean.
Did I?
Yes.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, but we need more cards because you need 52.
I'll try to explain what they are.
I love how Zara is the embodiment of someone who has the 29 intelligence, but obviously didn't gain it naturally, so he definitely doesn't have it.
And you're talking to Snowman Zara, who's only got 19.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
It's still like upper tier genius.
That's like gone to
It's like
university.
borrowed genius though. So what are you gonna do?
I have no idea.
Czar and Field are fighting over it right now.
Zara and Field weren't even done deciding where their XP was going.
Um, well, the good news is the other two are on this plane of existence. Bad news is Riven isn't.
Riven's still gone.
Oh, hey, that reminds me. I need to go through his roles real quick. For a brief amount of time, all of your cards would have buzz.
Ah,
Look at the card.
Riven is KIA.
Oh god.
fuck.
And then a minute later, it reads back as MIA.
Oh, okay. He's alive again.
I'm gonna start learning True Resurrection just in case, so that one of us at least has that and can handle it.
On a group message. So where is everybody?
On top of what's the giant statue called?
So not statue.
Statue of the Last Wall.
No, it's not statue. Sorry, it's Pembrokes' statue.
I got two different answers: statue, the last one, and Finbrix's statue.
That's the same. One is the group, which is comprised of several. The other is the only statue that's probably still standing.
Yeah. So I will message on top of Finbrix's statue.
Vondar.
Yeah.
My guild card's broken. It says they're on top of a statue.
We're at the Voiceless Food if you want to meet up.
That way.
Telepathically to Vondar. I've never been there. Can you think about how to get there?
How far can your telepathic go?
10 miles.
Does it reach?
Well, I
Well,
hope
the
so.
steel has been there.
Uh,
Done.
Yeah, it actually reaches.
I wish my ADHD brain was better at remembering names. Vondar is at this place. Please escort.
Okay. Jump off the tower, the statue.
You break both your legs.
I
Take
have
20d6 fall damage.
I have the fly speed.
Yeah, no.
So you're flying in the Black City.
More like arresting my fall.
As you're falling, it's like a scene out of Breath of the Wild where a red laser starts following you down, and you hear alarms blaring in the distance.
I'm not flying that high up.
That statue is extremely high up.
We probably should have just climbed down.
I stop flying and let myself fall, and right before I hit the ground and go splat, I arrested my fall
You're good.
and hit the ground.
I will climb down. Like a peasant. Hmm.
I knew I shouldn't have an unprepared feather fall, because it is written into my bad story that I should always have that spell prepared.
Yeah, I thought you had it prepared because of that reason.
I just took it off because I'm like, I have these.
Who's gonna use that?
Gonna use that at this level, at this stage in the game.
This is why I bought Featherfall tokens.
I wait for Cinnamar to come in. How long does it take Cinnamar to descend from the statue?
The statue is 3 miles tall.
I'm sure
That's why I wanted to know if you reached, because the city's pretty fucking big.
I did not appreciate how big this statue was.
Yeah, me neither.
Hey, you wanted somewhere where you could see the whole of the city. That is one of the 2 places that you could go.
And it was worth it. I'm sure there's a lot of like ledges and surfaces that I could kind of like jump down. Like,
Oh yeah, no,
you're.
and I won't even make you roll for it. You have the skill for this. The only thing I'm going to make you roll is a D100, and you want it above a 10. You're good. I was just gonna roll.
Somebody minus 70 points.
I was just gonna see if you somehow lost your footing, or a piece of shale broke. You know, dangers of rock climbing.
Right.
But you're good. Your luck somehow holds out, and you get all the way to the bottom. In what's your movement speed?
It's back down to 40.
Which, when you're climbing, it's reduced by half again, so 20, unless you have a climb speed.
Yeah, but this is also jumping down to various ledges and whatnot, so that would save a little time.
So by this by 20, it would have normally taken you 792 rounds to get down. We'll say it takes a fourth of that time. 198 rounds, which divide that by 6, or times that by 6. 198. 198 minutes, or 198. Yeah, whatever. It takes you like 10 minutes to get down. We'll say that.
That's fair.
I should have probably assisted with this.
That's okay.
I say to Cinnamar as he's nearing the floor.
It's fine. This is just normal people things.
While
You're
they're
not
climbing
normal.
down a statue, what is Bondar and Czar up to?
Waiting for us, probably.
Yeah. We're already at the restaurant, so
Order food.
You are early enough that there is at least one person there to actually start taking orders and stuff.
Something of all the major meat categories.
Sorry, it's pastry day.
You can get
Vonda, I know what I'm going to use that card for.
Don't
Please
you
don't.
fucking dare! You actually heard that, Vondar. I'll be melting you into drinking water if you do that. But yeah, it's like breakfast pastry morning.
Mm.
I'll say with Shion's guidance, you get there 10 minutes down the statue and another 15 minutes from where you are to get there.
Take
Hey.
some Mars.
Hey. Hey.
From there.
Yes.
Emotionally sad eating. Pretending it's a steak.
We need things other than protein and meat varieties in our diet once in a while. We eat eggs every day, 3 times a day.
Is this what
I know, right? You can have eggs over easy, eggs Benedict, eggs under easy, eggs poached, jumbo egg, barbecue egg, deep fried egg, Cajun egg.
What's Cation?
Isn't it like a kind of spicy sort of thing?
No, I'm asking in character.
I don't know.
Thing them swamp people do.
Yeah, makes you see things.
We learned about it during our trip to the swamp there.
How do we normally tell how much XP we've gotten?
Through the guild cards.
Well, that and you feel
There's
you
a-
do feel a
there's a
flow
little-
of power into you.
Okay. So
So-
by now, we've checked our guild cards multiple times. Could we have learned how much XP we got?
Sure.
That's going to be a thing that's going to need to be addressed.
I'll say I'm feeling pretty good.
That was like 3 levels for you guys, right?
Probably
I
2.
have no clue.
Probably
I will know
2.
until I start doing it.
I mean, I ain't saying nothing, but 10th level is only 64,000 XP.
I might just go to the guild and buy some experience.
You're not at like 68,000.
I have 82,000.
Yep.
There you go. So yeah, 3
Oh,
levels.
why? Were you going to try and get it to the 11th level?
I mean, if it's so close that we're about to level up, we might as well just drop the dough and make it nice and clean.
It's not just about the money. You have to find someone willing to sell their experience.
The guild has plenty of vials of XP.
No, we don't.
1,000 iridium and XP.
Yep.
And no, you don't. There was a certain problem that happened 3 months ago that destroyed their stock of XP crystals.
Oh, I was not informed of this.
You mean when all
Because
the guild things broke?
No, when someone tried to bring in a fairy XP stone, it polluted the batch.
Oh, who the fuck would do that? Those son of a
gee,
bitches.
I don't know who
Let's
would do.
go kill him.
Don't worry, that's coming.
Who did do that? And what consequence did they face?
If it wasn't Monday,
It was Wednesday.
I know. Who on Wednesday?
Everybody. Well, not everybody was part of the group was a part of it, but not everybody was the cause of it. Let's just say someone almost became level 0.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Actually, they would have been level 0 for probably near the rest of their life because they were going into the negatives.
Probably deep into the negatives.
About 2 million.
Jesus.
How does that even work? Do you become a concept at that point? Like you're not even conceived.
I was debating on making him like a Primus Primordium if that actually had happened. And he literally represents just anti-life.
Wow.
355 million is to level 20, or 355,000 is to level 20.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
He would have had to get to level 20 multiple times over.
So that was a fun side tangent. Vondar and Zar, did you two get your cards?
Yeah, and
yeah.
so
So
you already know.
we need more. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
I have explained what the cards do.
Do you explain the part about minor god tier items?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Now that I know in character, Jet, if I consult teacher, can I become aware of the items on that list?
Your teacher is not a magic item person. She's not even a smith, so even she's not aware of what's on that list.
Fair enough.
I think we will have to consult Lynx or some of the other deities like Zar and Fieldnut's dad, whom is, by the way, absolutely terrifying. I briefly met him.
I know one.
Yeah.
I point at your belt.
Oh.
Remember, you should get one of those.
I already have one though. Oh, actually, speaking of important things, Zar, yeah, Fieldnut can hear me now, right? Or is he doing
Uh,
Alright, so something that Ryu told me is that if you guys continue down the path that you are going down for your divine stuff, you will probably end up in conflict with another divine, and
oh shit.
the firstborn is a bit tired of babysitting everyone, so he's probably going to restructure how the divine rankings work, and you guys will, depending on how far along you are, you may end up working in the divine realm, doing your god stuff. So I figured that it was probably a good idea to let you know in case you didn't.
Oh yeah, no thanks.
know.
I start praying to Field. Field, we're fucked. Field, the vines are coming after us. We're gonna have to clash with them, and we pissed off the firstborn, and they're gonna arrest us.
No.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yes, I will keep that in mind.
Does anyone have any idea what you're going to use the increase anything card for?
I do now.
I have no idea. Aid in cultivating a divine spark comes to mind.
Right.
That's on the table.
That's actually that was the first thing I thought about was just making a divine spark.
Considering what you just said about the restructuring of how those interact with the material plane, perhaps that's
Right.
not the wisest course quite yet.
Also, didn't when you were looking down this thing, didn't they say like the person, the divine who gives you the spark, has to have a spark to give?
Well, I mean, yes, but I look at these cards and they say
Anything.
with very few asterisks.
And also there are vacancies currently, so there are spots to fill in the divine hierarchy. And I did ask about domains that would have people more involved in the material plane. So that is a possibility.
I'll need time to consult.
Yeah,
The any power card, power increase card, can it be used to improve something that I already have?
Yes.
Can I improve the first fragment of the king?
Son of a bitch!
Yes, you can, as a matter of fact.
Nice. Good job, Under.
Oh,
You just got a new great round.
I just had an idea.
What?
I want to. This is something that I'll have to consult Thea on, but I want to improve my capacity of being able to handle the Well of Ascension. You know, that thing of near infinite power that's somehow in the Misty Cloak.
Right.
That's a good one.
All right. Well, I mean, obviously, everybody has time to think about what they want. It's not like he gave you a time frame. But when you do know what you officially want, just post it in your player chat, and then that way I've got a written down account.
I need some time in the forever room.
You forgot the second part of that, Simamar.
Second part of what?
Phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty living space. So are we taking downtime?
Yeah, at least a month or so.
I'll probably spend a week in the Forever Room and minimally because I don't want to drive myself insane again. Take regular breaks for mental health, but I don't want to be in there longer than I have to.
You know, if you want, I can go in there with you and just meditate and pray.
You don't know what you're asking. If you need to be in there for your own purposes, then by all means. Actually, you know what? I probably don't even need it. I just need to level. I just need to work on. I probably don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it.
Okay.
I don't need
Well,
it.
you can do whatever you need to at my house. The door is open.
But still, as you're sitting here at this table, waiting, as everyone's waiting for their pastries to be delivered, you hear like a boing, 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 boing. And through the door comes a gnome who is walking with spring shoes. So every time he steps, it like launches him in the air. Lands, launch, lands, launch, lands, launch. Comes over to you. Are you Shion Hykidian?
That is a question. I am.
Reaches into his satchel.
Never.
You see him start getting pulled into his satchel. No! And as he just kind of like flips into the satchel, it just lands on the ground.
Oh.
As you see a tongue stick out of the lip of the satchel and lick it all the way through and then retracts in.
Yo, what the fuck?
What just happened? He just got eaten!
That bag is awesome.
Vondar, can you... Vondar, can you Vondar?
Can you
Can I,
fund?
can I identify the bag?
It is a bag of devouring. You know that they're basically a bag of holding, but there's always a slight chance that it eats your stuff or you. If it's hungry enough.
I'll try to turn the bag inside out.
As you turn it inside out, you'll see a ring hit the floor with a nice dull thud, several letters, and then a skeleton of a gnome that is sort of wearing spring shoes. They're like half hanging off now, but
What?
I cast Revivify.
I can't fix that. Actually, maybe I can. Let me read Revivify. The body is still here, and it's been less than a minute.
Yeah.
It's a skeleton, though. Revivify doesn't regrow.
Yeah, you need a
parts
whole
of the
body.
Right. It doesn't regrow body parts.
You can wish, but
Yeah, I can't. No, I could wish. Yeah, I may as well. He's lucky he died right in front of me. Stand by. Just making sure I'm doing it right. The spell closes all mortal wounds and restores any missing body parts. Luckily, the spell component, I believe, is overdone with wish. So yeah, I wish to cast resurrection on this poor gnome. I will cast wish.
You guys get to watch as muscle, veins, sinew,
Organs.
organs, teeth, fingernails, hair all reform. And then, just as if a cruel joke, the last part to reform is the skin. Stupid bag! Starts kicking the bag.
You had a letter, I believe, for me.
Not a letter. Bends down, picks up the ring, and hands you a ring.
Thank you.
You probably shouldn't use that bag anymore, sir.
We're
How much is this?
required to.
Why?
Because the Emperor is in a bad mood.
I was literally going to buy this guy a big folding, but
A bag of holding is like 200 or less.
Yeah, it's not worth a man's soul.
Hey, Vondar, can you get a bag of holding and make it look like that satchel and then give it to him?
The Emperor is in a bad mood.
I'm not sure about disguising one magical item as another.
That's fair.
He gathers up the letters, carefully puts them in the bag.
Oh my god. I was gonna write a letter to the Emperor for my asking for clemency, but I don't think I'm gonna do that quite yet, if this is the mood he's in.
Yeah.
That guy works for him.
Yeah.
Boing, 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 boing.
He didn't even tip him.
I mean, the tip was he's alive.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still got the bag and he's still got to stick his hand in next time he gives somebody a letter. So was it?
Maybe he should just flip it inside out every time he wants to pull out a letter.
Well, I cast a spell that's worth 1,000 gold pieces, so or 1,000 meridian pieces, so I'm thinking that's an okay tip. Anyways, okay, yes, I have this, and I hold up the ring with my family's crest on it. That is good to have back in my possession.
The one ring to rule them all.
That's this one, and I rub the wing of winter.
Oh, okay.
When I became a dragon rider, did I get one of those rings that lets me go to the Honored Isles?
Yes, they would have provided you with the spell book that has the ancient language in the front and the rest of your spell book capacity in the back. A ring, and an actual map of the Dragon Red Isles.
Great. If you guys want, while I'm training on the Honored Isles, I can ask Lynx about the. I mean, I can always just pray to him, but about the lesser god items.
Cool.
By all means, yes, I'd be very interested to hear what's on that list. What is available to us?
Okay. Now, I think I'm just gonna go home and, well, practice. do monk stuff. I think I know what I'm gonna use the card for, so I think I'm just gonna go for it, and we'll see what happens.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Well, if we're going down for training, I'm gonna head to the Honored Isles. My
Have,
next level of Dragon Rider.
best of luck, Vondar. Let me know about what you find about those items.
All right.
I will probably be doing wizard stuff and some of Mars proximity, and having teacher in the real world teach. Not going into the forever.
What's with the white scribbles on the map around this house?
Dun, dun, dun.
Which one?
Bum. There's a house north of the arena that has some circles around it.
I don't remember. So we will just remove them.
It might have been
Oh.
Fort's restaurant.
Oh, right.
Oh, I see the for sale locations on the map now.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna talk to whoever's in charge of that building and see about purchasing it at some point. Within the downtime, probably.
Okay. All right. Starting at the top. I guess let's start with Shield. Sorry.
One more time.
We're starting with you.
Okay. Going to be leveling up. I think what we're at. What level did we go to
10.
after that bump?
10?
Level 11, I think.
No, we're shy of 11.
Okay, so yeah, go to. So that's 2, 4, 6 weeks of learning wizard stuff. And then I do want to see the first order of business so that I can allow time for like things to develop as I want to see about purchasing that building. The one where the thunder what was the name of that place?
Emerald Phoenix.
Yeah, Emerald Phoenix.
Emerald Phoenix, sorry. Yeah, where they were previously located.
Well, you have the prestige, you have the rank, you have the proof. One moment.
Should probably change my character sheet back to Estelle.
Only if you want to.
Yeah.
They're asking 517,000 iridium for that property.
I'm ready to check. You post me the number? Or actually, I'll just type it out if you want to say it again. Oh, there it is. My screen is getting bombarded, guys.
What is happening?
What is happening?
Vote for Czar.
I suppose I'm going to be putting out. I guess I don't know. I don't know how best to do it, but putting out word for to hire wizards who want to retire and become teachers.
Okay.
And do my own wizard shit.
Alrighty.
Let me see.
The next would be Shimar.
I am doing 3 levels of monk. So that's pretty straightforward way of long death. There's a feat that I wanted to ask about. I haven't gone through the Microsoft Word doc yet, but it is called Remarkable Recovery. And I will just post it in here, or at least what it does. Basically, if you stabilize, you heal con modifier, and if you regain hit points as a result spell potion class feature, you regain an additional to your con modifier.
That's called what now?
Remarkable Recovery.
Okay.
For my dedicated weapon, since I have the giant rip feet and the ability to wield heavy weapons and two-headed weapons with one hand, am I able to make my lance my dedicated weapon, or do I need to pick a regular weapon?
You remind myself what dedicated weapon does again.
It basically makes it into a monk weapon, so you can use your monk features with it.
Must lack the
Uh,
heavy.
which I would allow you to ignore because you do have the giant script.
Okay. Cool.
So yes, that would be fine.
Cool. Huh. I wonder if Touch of Death would allow me to extract souls. Well, my stuff is pretty straightforward except for the ability or increasing my ability to use the Well of Ascension, which that is who knows what that is going to entail.
Alrighty, then that would be Vondar's next.
Oh, my page reloaded. I'm gonna take 3 levels in Dragon Rider, so I can get a feat. I haven't picked the feat yet.
Also means your dragon hatches.
Yes, to come up with the name.
Okay, that's fair. What was your dragon again? Just remind me.
Steel.
Steel dragon? Okay, I'll import that to your block.
Yes, I'll be training on the Dragon Isles, and I'll try to speak with Lynx or his goblins to find out about these God-forged items.
They will tell you about as many as they know about. I'll just have to compile that list. All right, so 6 weeks of doing that, plus kind of getting an education on what Godforged is. Basically, Godforged are sort of like artifacts, except they tend to be unhinged. They always do a lot and are custom made by a god. Artifacts can still be made by mortal hands, although it's a really tough and usually arduous process. But Godforged can only be made by gods. And even then, it's not every god could make a Godforged. You have to have a very specific set of skills. More to the point, not only do you have to have some sort of artificy or smithing skill, but you also have to basically obtain the entirety of the creation feats or salient abilities as a divine. So there's create object, create greater object, and I know there's divine creation and one other one. So basically having all of those together would allow you to create a God-forged item. And a God-forged item isn't affected. Yeah, I had that right. So it's just create object, create greater object, divine creation. And God-forged items are not affected by like taking feats. So if you have a feat that normally makes you forge faster, it does not apply in this scenario. Godforged are meant to be ridiculously strong. But it also requires the time even of a god to do it properly. The one offhand he could... I mean, he would look at you and say, truth be told, you are in possession of a god forged item, but it's not lesser. The item in your possession is considered a greater god forged, if not a higher tier that we haven't quite picked yet. But there are some crazy, crazy Godforged weapons out there. One of them he would describe to you is called the Alendite. And I am fairly certain only one person in this party would even know what that sword is, unless you know where it comes from in the first place. Because he was the only one in this party who was here for season 1. But basically, I'm just trying to find the old stat block just to give you an idea of how crazy some of these get. Alendite, when it was fully awakened, had a critical range of 14 to 20. It did 8 times the critical damage.
Oh,
What else did it do? It was crazy strong. If you took the time to actually train with it and become an expert wielding it, you learned a feature called Eclipse, which basically made it so where anytime you dealt critical damage, you recovered half of that as your HP. If it exceeded your HP, it became temporary HP. And similar to Simimar's weapon, not quite to the same extent, but similar. You could not be immune or resistant to its damage. It ignored both those conditions. But it only downgraded you to normal damage. It also had 2 features called Flourish, which allowed you to basically cast Eldritch Blast as a 20th level Warlock. And if you had this weapon's sister sword, it granted you a +4 AC total and reduced all damage done to you by 5. And that's just an example.
a ascending question I would pose to Vondar would be, can we upgrade artifacts or other items into God tier or God Forge?
Probably not. Because that would imply that there is a existing God Forged of that item somewhere. And do remember the one restriction was that had to, well, the 2 restrictions were, one, it had to have existed before, and the second was that it can't be a planet destroying nuke. So yeah, crazy stuff. But there are a few others that will be on that list. One you would recognize, sort of, because it was listed in the identify of Serial, was the Sword of the Honored Ruler.
It's the lesser God Forge.
Yes. The Sword of the Honored Ruler is, yes. Especially if you have the full set. All right, so 6 weeks goes by for everybody. Yeah. Nothing too crazy happens in 6 weeks.
That's good.
Oh, you know what? I am reminded. I actually have something I need to do for work real quick. So this is probably a good place to stop anyway, and we can catch what's his face up when he gets back, etc.
Right.
I need to do math anyway.
I did already send him some notes on what happened. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to stream today. If you enjoyed our content, please feel free to drop us a follow. We would really appreciate the support. And tune in Mondays and Wednesdays for our D&D content. Want to keep up with the events and extra streams? Please check out our Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date on the schedule releases and updates for the streams, including extra streams that we may not have on schedule. And if you would like to see previous content that we've done, check us out on YouTube at Epitaph of Creation. Thank you so much for coming out today, and have a good night, everybody.